Spectacular. Give me 14 of them right now.
Really? Do you know what's in here?
I don't care. Don't tell me.
A bomb was dropped on Twitter in the form of a tweet from a former Mr. Beast employee that adds the cherry to the top to what is honestly already too much to go through in. Join us as we try to unpack the past 7-8 weeks, maybe even more of controversy to go through. Today, I am going to assume that you sort of know what is going on, and you are somewhat familiar with the very, very long list of allegations that Mr. Beast and his team are facing. Alright, let's go all the way back to the guy who blew the roof of this whole situation, the YouTuber Dogpack404, who made the accusation that Mr. Beast was exploiting his audience by faking videos, running illegal lotteries, and a whole lot of other not-so-nice things. And, just recently, he came back with another video titled, "I worked for Mr. Beast, he's a sociopath." Now, to break it down in this video, he interviews a former Mr. Beast employee named Jake, who has quite a lot to say about how things are done on the Mr. Beast YouTube channel.
I heard, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. He's very careful about his image.
Jake was supposed to be a part of a video where he attempted spending 100 days in solitary confinement, and it went terribly. Essentially, he was tortured, and it was just an awful situation that Mr. Beast continued to recreate multiple times throughout this year. Personally, I think videos like that are weird and immoral, and to make those kind of videos with very little pushback is insane. Articles have even been written explaining how challenges like this are a literally form of psychological abuse used in war times, so you can only imagine how crazy this experience must have been.
There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary, or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well.
But this is just one aspect of what Jake talks about. I recommend watching the full video, as these are first-hand accounts of people who are interacting with Mr. Beast on the daily. Anyways, the part we are going to be looking at is the part where Dogpack404 questions Jake about if he ever heard of P. Diddy, like sexual misconduct within the company, outside of Ava Chris Tyson. And his answer to that is what we're going to watch now. Now I'm going to let the clip play out in full, because I feel like talking about this clip without showing you guys the tweet that followed would be pointless, because the tweet we're going to be looking at makes this clip go from somebody saying something that looks really bad to who knows what's the actual story behind this clip, being something that might genuinely have the potential to ruin the Mr. Beast channel, which is something I previously didn't think was possible.
So, whatever happens at this point.
Outside of Ava Chris Tyson, did you notice any or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. He's very careful about his image. The tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. How do you prove that, Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. And you can, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on that's one thing. You go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. If you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that. And he's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face can be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to, is it more on the nose? Or, I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth. I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth. So I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything, they still knew about it and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why. The fuck?
And Jimmy knew about it?
The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
There's a lot going on here, and it's pretty concerning. First off, it's hard to believe that Mr. Beast didn't know about this situation, especially when even the guy's mom was in the loop. This is a tricky issue because sure, people can change, and Mr. Beast can make his own choices. If he ran a different kind of company, one that doesn't involve kids, and wanted to give someone a second chance, that's his call. But when your brand is all about interacting with young people, hiring a registered sex offender is just not okay.
You need to leave! This is disgusting.
Now, if a background check missed something and you find out later, that's one thing. You fire the person and move on. But knowing all this and still deciding to hire them, that's a tough pill to swallow. What makes this even more troubling is the bigger picture. We've already seen some red flags with other people on Mr. Beast's team, like the issues with Chris Tyson and those weird Discord chats. And now this? It's getting harder to brush these off as just coincidences. There seems to be a pattern here, and it raises some serious questions about what's going on within Mr. Beast's organization. Look, I get that with such a big team, a few bad apples might slip through. But when there's evidence suggesting Mr. Beast knew about these issues and still chose to keep these people around, that's a different story. If I were told that a new hire was on the registry for something awful and we had to hide their identity, I'd be out of there immediately. So what does this say about the environment on these sets, where everyone's apparently okay with these decisions? This isn't just about someone claiming to be a good person. It's about Mr. Beast knowing what's up, knowing who his audience is, and still thinking this was a good move. That's just not acceptable. As this unfolds, it's hard not to wonder what's next for Mr. Beast and his team. Is this the worst of it, or is there more to come? We'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more updates.